Hello, my name is Tasha Williams, and this is my post reflection for observation three. Observation video number 3. In this reflection, I will share what I learned from leading the instructional cycle, the impact of strategies we implemented, and the next steps I plan to take as an instructional leader. This video reinforced me on how important it is to look beyond the surface of students' work. At the beginning of the year, it appeared that many students simply wasn't answering the ECRs correctly, but once we engaged in rubric collaboration, deeper analysis, I learned that students did understand the task, but they simply lacked a clear, consistent structure of how to organize their thinking, and this is why we implemented assuring that students use the right strategies. Leading the focus group helped me strengthen my skills in facilitating teacher discussions, analyzing student work at a deeper level, guiding teachers towards shared instructional strategy, and making decisions based on data and not assumption. There were several things that were successful in this implementing of writing across content that I'm proud. Most students were not restating the question, answering the question clearly, or connecting evidence to their reason. Or some students was again summarizing the story instead of answering the question. Now students are clearly able to restate the question, answer the question clear, cite text evidence, and explain their reason. And it got to the point now where student looks around in the classroom for the race poster, so they're able to use that, and they know, okay, I look at the yellow one in order to find, give me a sentence stem for citing your text evidence. I look at this one in order to be able to explain my evidence, that sentence stem. This shows that the color coding writing race anchor charts on the wall is extremely effective. It makes writing more accessible for students. The teachers also benefit from the structure because now as a whole and as a school, we have a clear structure of what students are using. The teacher expects that having a common routine helps them feel more comfortable in teaching writing, especially in the non-ELA classes. The weekly SCRs was extremely helpful because students are now understanding that writing goes with anything, and it's showing inside the ELA classes that students are able to answer the question, reset the question, and answer the question, your text evidence easily without having to struggle. So when we're talking about data, I'm going to look mostly at the ECRs, since ECRs are the main part of the STAR, and there were 10 points. So most students are writing complete responses. Most students are earning 3s and 4s in their ECR. Students are using evidence and more consistently, and students improved in clarity. So the biggest celebration is that students are actually answering the question and using text evidence. One thing that we need to improve on is our convention scores. Students are still struggling with how to revise and edit. So we talked about, would it be possible if we can give kids time to write in their journal first, since they do write better than they type. Speaking to Miss Thomas, which is our computer elective teacher, and seeing if there's anything that we can implement that would help students type faster and understand what the letters are. We also talked about giving, after they write and type their ECR, give them 5 minutes just go back in like a peer review, and then use that feedback to edit their work. So students are learning what to write and learning how to structure their writing, but they're still struggling on editing their writing for clarity. They need, students will need more instructions on grammar, punctuation mark, capitalization, and run-on sentences. And also, I think that we talked about how it benefits from the proofreading system that was used in prior years. So as we was growing up, when we had the system of how to edit your paper, sometimes the barriers between success isn't the content, it's the foundational writing skills that we assume students already have. And because of COVID, a lot of these foundational writing skills was not taught. And then also because the kids did not take a writing 4th grade test. The ECRs is a new thing, which is part of the STAR 2.0 redesign. What I learned from this is students need to build explicit revising edit routines into writing instructions. Into our writing instructions, students need daily practice correcting sentences and fixing errors. We should add more revising edit during our do now so as a SPAR review. And we should require an editing detail before turning in our ECR. Overall, this showed me the power of collaboration, clear routine, shared expectation, and intentional leadership. Student improved because the teacher was consistent. The teachers were consistent across the school, and they showed the importance of writing. The structure was clear, and this was continually monitored. However, again, writing requires 2 layers, which is the ideal and organization, then the convention. And so students are doing well in ideal and development, but are struggling with the convention. Thank you so much for watching my video.